The second event of International Education Week. We had a beautiful parade where all the students displayed their flags, and we had Miss Tutu address the students and the faculty that attended. But this is going to be wonderful. I'm Betty Jensen with the Office of International Student Services. International Education Week is a joint initiative of the U.S. Department of Education and the U.S. Department of State to emphasize the importance of international education and exchange in establishing mutual respect and understanding among people around the world. This year's theme is International Education Striving for a Sustainable Future. President Obama has stated, all of us share this world for but a brief moment in time. The question is whether we spend that time focused on what pushes us apart or whether we commit ourselves to an effort, a sustained effort, to find common ground, to focus on the future we seek for our children, and to respect the dignity of all human beings. I believe his words will touch on the speech that Ms. Tutu will deliver us tonight. Next is Dr. Finkelstein.
Good evening. My name is Monty Finkelstein. I'm the co-chair of the Global Education Committee on this campus. On behalf of the Global Education Committee, I would like to welcome everyone to tonight's presentation. 4 years ago, the Global Education Committee was formed to internationalize the Tallahassee Community College campus. We at TCC realized that this initiative was needed to broaden students' educational experiences so that they could better compete in the global economy and be prepared to become better citizens of the world. To accomplish these goals, the Global Education Committee has supported study and travel programs both abroad and domestically. TCC students now have the opportunity to study in England, France, Italy, and Spain. They can go to the Czech Republic and mainland China. They can help teach English to students in Taiwan. They can study at museums in New York City. We have also instituted a faculty exchange program with Tianjin Foreign Studies University in Tianjin, China. Next fall, the college will initiate the Global Gateway Program, through which students can receive a designation on their transcript after having completed a curriculum designed to broaden their global perspective. By completing the program, students will be better prepared to continue their studies at the next level. The Global Education Committee has also sponsored and supported numerous presentations on campus, including art displays, films, musical presentations, and of course, speakers. Tonight's event is the culmination of a collaboration between International Student Services and the Global Education Committee. And once again, I welcome all of you tonight. Thank you.
Welcome to everyone. I'm Marge Payne, and I'm the other co-chair of the Global Education Committee, as well as the Dean of Communications and Humanities. What a glorious day, that's all I can say. I celebrate it with you. We had a wonderful South African art exhibit on display, the African Drum and Dance Ensemble, and then a distinguished guest speaker to complete the day. All of these events for International Education Week and the global education events that we share throughout the entire year are possible because of the support of the Board of Trustees and the college administration. We have two members of the Board of Trustees who are with us today, Chairman Eugene Lamb and Dr. Ellison DeFore. If you two will please stand. One of the strongest supporters of the international students in global learning is Dr. Barbara Sloan, who serves as interim president of Tallahassee Community College. President Sloan will introduce our distinguished guest speaker. President Sloan.
Thank you very much. I too offer my welcome. Thank you for being here this evening. It's wonderful to see so many people here with us. We set up 300 chairs and I can tell that wasn't enough. I apologize. We'll keep working on that. We all know that events like this can't happen without a lot of dedication and vision from a lot of people. That begins with the leadership of our board. We're very appreciative for your support of these kinds of activities, for your taking your time to be with us here this evening, bringing your families. Thank you very much. We also know that we have faculty and staff and students. Our Student Government Association and our faculty and other students helped us to make tonight a reality. And we are just very, very pleased to have all of you here. And what you're here for is not to hear me. So let me introduce, with great pleasure, our honored guest and speaker, Miss Naomi Tutu. Miss Tutu has chosen to make human rights for all her life's work. My generation grew up watching the racial injustices that violated this country's Constitution, and we have been able to celebrate as great human effort, dedicated individuals and groups have helped us change much of what was wrong in this country. During those same decades, however, we read about a country where those injustices were not a violation of the law, they were in fact the law of the land. Miss Tutu was born in South Africa, the daughter of Archbishop and Mrs. Desmond Tutu. Centuries of racial oppression in South Africa was most clearly exhibited in a segregationist political system known as apartheid that gave all political rights, power, and social privileges to the minority white population, and that institutionalized racial discrimination and police repression of Black Africans. Thankfully, apartheid as a political system was written out of the South African Constitution in 1994. But in South Africa, as in the United States, the work to assure equal and humane treatment for all humans continues. Ms. Tutu was educated in Swaziland, the United States, and England, and she has dual citizenship in both South Africa and the United States. She has served as a development consultant in West Africa and a program coordinator for programs on race and gender-based violence in education at the African Gender Institute at the University of Cape Town. She holds degrees from Berea College and the University of Kentucky and is a much sought-after speaker on topics relating to human rights. She has also led truth and reconciliation workshops for various groups addressing different types of conflict, and she is a consultant to the Spiritual Alliance to Stop Intimate Violence and the Foundation for Hospices in Sub-Saharan Africa. Please join me in welcoming Miss Naomi Tutu.
Thank you, thank you. And thank you for the wonderful welcome, especially of the African dance troupe. I think I lost 30 pounds just watching them. You know, so I don't know how much they were losing, but I feel like I got my gym in this evening. I clapped a lot, in case you didn't notice. The title of my presentation, I think, goes well with your theme for International Education Week. And the title of the presentation is Striving for Justice, Seeking Common Ground. And it's a title, like many of my titles, that I actually borrowed from somebody else. Other people call it stealing. I like to think of it as sharing the wealth, sharing ideas. And it was a title of a conference I was invited to by the Nobel Committee in Minnesota. And when I first saw the title, I felt a little bit suspicious, you know, striving for justice, seeking common ground, because so very often when people talked about seeking common ground in conjunction with justice, it was normally saying something about asking the oppressed to be more patient or to be willing to let something change or something not change. And so I went to the conference feeling a little bit suspicious about that phrase and about what lay behind it. And very happily came away from the conference feeling that, in fact, it is impossible to separate those two concepts, to separate the idea of justice from an idea of our common humanity